Hello, welcome to this deck. This is one I created. I just played a few games and it did really well, like immediately. So I think it's pretty good. The reason it did so well immediately is because the combination of Big Dreams with Banjosaur. Seems to be a very, very, very powerful thing. Um, so essentially, like a lot, I looked at a lot of decks and they were like, this is sort of I kind of created this. I don't really like to play the Renathal decks because they're too slow, right? And you can't get the cards quickly enough. So what I did is I played with sort of some of the Renathal stuff, and then I sort of went to kind of powering up the early game. And Doomsayer, which is obviously quite an old card, well, it's a very old card. It's literally the original, in the original set, but it still works, right? It's still like a good way to control the early game. And you got to remember there are like like there's not that many. I looked at the sort of the one there was this package with all this one cost stuff and it's just like it's not really good enough to be honest. This bunch of bananas, it doesn't really do anything. Barb nets, it's got a condition with the Nug. It's like not really worth it. So I thought, you know what, let's take some good twos and threes. So for instance, this is a good two. In terms of the wild seed stuff, you probably could do a little bit more on the wild seed. There are some other good cards which don't have it with some epics like Stag Charge and stuff like that, but whatever. Didn't get those. The only thing, by the way, like I've just made this deck, but I have a feeling that I almost don't even. Well, I'm going to experiment with this. This might go down to one and do something else. This is another card I just happen to have. Kind of like it. It's kind of like a cool Discover, and it's obviously, there used to be a hero card which did zombies, so it's kind of like a little bit of a retro one now. But anyway, the point is, Spirit Poach is very strong, especially with Wild Spirits. If you can get those, you're pretty good. You've got your tracking. So the early game is kind of dealt with here, and then really it's just a case of in your opening hand, just keep Big Dreams, keep Banjosaur. If you have one of them, keep one of those, and then just hope for the other. And then you can just it's gonna be pretty useful to do that. And this is actually if you're playing Control. This is obviously take this from the. That's why I kind of do like having it. Actually, I'm just thinking about the few games I have played with it so far. Obviously this is, I mean it's good enough. But yeah, this is like it's just a really fun deck to play. I put this in. Why did I put this in? Well, I mean the only thing it can really trigger is of this, but still, I mean that's pretty good, right? That would be like do 6 damage to all the enemy minions. So I guess in that situation, it probably not really worth it. If I like the only thing that I would maybe think about changing at this point, I really like having this here as well. This is also a good situational card. But the thing I might change would be to. I always think like if you've got a legendary, you may as well like think about cards to improve that. So I would take a look at some death rattle stuff. I mean, there's not that much, right? There's not that much, especially if you're not going to be doing any dredge stuff. This doesn't really help. In terms of the higher cost stuff, Hawk Strider doesn't work because it's not really like that, this deck. It would be not this. Unfortunately, this card is is a very good card, but it wouldn't work, right? Because it's just the weird nature of the battle cry and the death rattle being codependent. So that's a bit annoying. Infectious Ghoul though is one which is no, it wouldn't quite work. It's closer to working. Plague Spreader might be good. There's like other things you could put in, like as a sort of middle. This is also good. I'm not sure what would happen if you re-triggered this again, if it would restart the countdown. This is obviously my favourite card in other decks. I mean, some of these cards as well. This is a good card. These two are both quite good, actually, for different reasons. But yeah, there's not much. I guess people do like to use this as well. This might, in my deck, this would probably suit that more. Then I have a lot of it's already quite high mana cost. But you see, you have to make sure that you have the early game. It just depends. It depends on what the style of play is at that current time, how this mana curve should look. But yeah. Anyway, this is what I'm playing with at the moment. So thanks for watching.